listening to 40 Weeks, a production of the Pregnancy Podcast with Vanessa Merton. Visit pregnancypodcast.com/week for all of the 40 Weeks resources and sign up with your due date to get each episode delivered to your inbox when you start a new week of your pregnancy. Thank you for tuning in to the 40 Weeks podcast. Welcome to week 24, 16 weeks to go. You can see a picture of what your baby looks like this week, read the transcript, and access the additional resources at pregnancypodcast.com/week24. Your baby is growing from a grapefruit last week to the size of an ear of corn. They measure 12.6 inches or 32 centimeters and weigh 1.5 pounds or 670 grams. Your baby has developed the sweet face that you will soon see, and their eyes and ears are placed exactly where they should be. They're big enough to no longer do cartwheels and tumbles, but they're still just as touchy-feely with their surroundings. They are also more attuned to sounds outside the womb. Your baby's skin is still very transparent. If you could see inside your womb, you would see all of their organs, bones, and blood vessels. As fat deposits form, they won't be as transparent. As your baby's lungs continue to develop, the cells that produce surfactant are being created. Surfactant is a substance that will help their air sacs inflate once they are in the outside world. Your uterus is now well above your belly button and is about the size of a soccer ball. Week 24 opens the window for gestational diabetes testing. Gestational diabetes is a type of diabetes that occurs during pregnancy and then goes away after the birth of your baby. This condition affects 6 to 7% of pregnancies. The glucose challenge screening is a preliminary test to evaluate how your body processes sugar. Insulin resistance often starts around week 20, so you take this screening test between 24 to 28 weeks. The glucose challenge screening is a standard routine test in the United States. It's possible if you are at high risk that you take the test sooner. During this test, you will drink a sweet liquid of glucose, which is sugar. You're going to have 5 minutes to drink it, and then you will have blood drawn 1 hour after having the drink. If you have a positive result on the glucose challenge screening, you're going to go on to take a glucose tolerance test. That's a diagnostic test that determines whether your body is using glucose effectively. This test is a little bit more involved. You're not permitted to eat or drink anything but sips of water for 14 hours before the test, so it should be scheduled for first thing in the morning. You may want to have someone drive you to and from this appointment since your energy levels may be low, and there's the slight possibility that you may feel lightheaded. During the glucose tolerance test, you're also consuming glucose, and then your blood is tested every hour for 3 hours. There's an episode of the Pregnancy Podcast that examines what gestational diabetes is, how it can affect you and your baby, all of the testing methods, and examines the risks of the test and potential alternatives. If you're really lucky, you may have a care provider that will let you eat jelly beans instead of drinking the glucose drink. You can learn more at pregnancypodcast.com/diabetes. A tip for dads and partners: one of my favorite resources for dads and partners is the Daily Dad. Ryan Holiday, who's the author of this newsletter, is one of the world's best-selling living philosophers. It's a daily newsletter that delivers one piece of timeless advice to your inbox daily. The Daily Dad is rooted in Stoic philosophy, and the advice and stories shared in this newsletter will help you become a better parent. This is a newsletter I have subscribed to for years and continue looking forward to every morning. It certainly has made me a better parent. Thank you for tuning in to the 40 Weeks podcast. You can see the full transcript and all of the resources for this episode at pregnancypodcast.com/week24. Next week, more blood vessels are forming and making your baby's skin go from white to pink. Until then, I wish you the very best in your pregnancy journey.